Hi, everyone, and welcome to this month at the IGSI. Hard to believe, but this is the first episode of the second season. I can't believe we've already been through the first season. I hope you've enjoyed what we've done so far and looking forward to what we have planned for the upcoming year. Well, what we have planned for this month is to talk about Irish Saturday. We're going to be talking about the webinar coming up for the month of July as well. And then we've got an interview with John Grenham. And he's going to be talking about his database on johngrenham.com, how he got it started, and what folks at the IGSI can expect when they get on there and where they can find the database and how you can access it. So we'll be talking about that coming up here in a little bit as well. Well, let's take a look at what we've got going on now for the month of July. We will be having an Irish Saturday on July the 8th. So stop on by the Hoffman Research Library, which is located at the Minnesota Genealogical Center in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Now, here's an opportunity to get some of your Irish research questions answered. The Minnesota Genealogy Center is located at 1385 Mendota Heights Road, Suite 100. You can also stop by the library during regular business hours. And to find out more about the library and hours of operation, go to the website at mngs.org. And our monthly webinar for the month of July will feature Lisa Walsh Dougherty, who will be presenting a session called Using Surprising Databases in Your Family Tree Searches. We'll have an in-depth look at different databases that can give you a wealth of information about your family heritage. Lisa will take you through the records found in the, say for example, Emigrant Savings Bank of New York collection, as well as the Order of Foresters in Massachusetts. And while these are based on the Atlantic coast, their records penetrate deeply in the immigrant communities of colonial America. The webinar will be held on July 22nd from 10:30 a.m. until 12 noon Central Daylight Time. Again, the cost for members is $15 and $25 for non-members. One of the more popular and respected genealogy databases when it comes to Irish research is John Grenham's. And now John Grenham's database is available at the Minnesota Genealogy Center at the Hoffman Research Library in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. And members of the IGSI and other patrons who come into the library are able to access that database on 3 of the computers. Now, recently I had a chance to speak to Walt Rothwell, who is the co-chair of the Education Committee and one of the individuals who kind of put this thing together for the IGSI. And he kind of explained what was the background, the purpose behind it, and what is the plan moving forward now that we have that database on board 3 of the computers.
John Grenham, of course, has the book, which I think is currently in volume 5, and that's been part of the library for a long time. And from that, he jumped out and created a website called Irish Ancestors at johngrenham.com. And many of our board members have used that as a major resource for years. So we wanted to try to make it available to library patrons at our Minnesota library, which is very close to Minneapolis, the MSP airport, and the Mall of America. And we have about 2,000 titles in the Irish collection there in the library. And we have about a dozen computer workstations with an assortment of databases available for various types of research across many nations. So we wanted to make John Grenham's site available to patrons, and he was kind enough to give us a discount so that we were able to purchase 3 subscriptions. So of the 12 workstations, 3 people at a time are able to use that resource, and it's been very popular since we introduced it about 3 months ago.
I also had a chance to talk to John Grenham recently, and he talked about his database and how it all got started.
Developed it with them for more than 12 years, and then I went on my own. And it's a soft paywall, and basically, there's a library and society discount. And the idea it always was to make things as easy as possible for myself as a professional genealogist. That's it. Lots and lots of shortcuts and maps and links between records, that so you don't have to keep on going off and looking things up. It's all done for you. That was the idea anyway.
Hmm.
So, and I thought, I'll just do this and it'll be finished. And I'm still doing it 25, 30 years later. So
That is great. Yeah. Okay. So what can people expect now when they get onto one of the laptops there?
the two most important ones are the two basic raw materials of research, which is surnames and place names. So if you know a place name or have an idea of a place name, there's the heart of it is the Townlands Index from 1851, from the 1851 census, supplemented with various directories and other things. And you can search that with wildcards and try to identify a locality. And if you think you have a locality, you can then go into the records and see exactly what records there are, what church records there are for that area, what estate records, what gravestone transcripts, if there are newspapers, where they are, what's online. So it's basically I will spin you as many rabbit holes as the human frame can bear. That's on the place name side. On the surname side, similar as well. You put in a surname, and it will tell you where those surnames appear in the records, in the census records, on a map. I do this. I've got, like lots of people who get bitten by the map bug. Once you start mapping, you can't stop. But I map surnames onto maps for the 1901, 1911 census, for General Register Office births, marriages, and deaths, for Catholic baptisms, Catholic marriages. So you can see these on a map. It tells you where there are, what numbers there are. You can then click on the circle on the map, and you'll be taken to the original records. So you'll be taken to the General Register Office records in Irish genealogy, or the Griffith's valuation records on Ask About Ireland, and so on. So it's, again, as I say, it's trying to put things together as simply and as comprehensively as possible. That's it. It's an aid to doing research. It's only really possible, actually, because so many of the relevant records are actually free to view. Not the main, but a large motivation for doing it like that is just skepticism. It's not people telling you the Ryans come from Tipperary. It's, here is a giant circle showing 500 Ryan families in Tipperary. Click on it, and there they are in the records. You know what I mean? So you get taken back to the originals all the time. That's the idea, anyway.
And that will definitely help people who are on this side of the pond and trying to get over there and get that information available to them.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, there are various other tools. You can see where two surnames occur, for example, in the same area of a census record or baptismal record. So just to get, if you have two surnames but you're not sure of a locality, you can narrow your options by putting two surnames in. So there's things like that.
The more information, the better for you.
Well, and again, at the moment, with my son, who is not quite as enthusiastic about overwhelming people as me, he's now a full partner in the site with me. So we're just redesigning things at the moment to make them more mobile, more phone friendly, tablet friendly, so that things, you don't get this great mass of information thrown at you. You can choose which ones to view at a time. So, and we're also working on improving some of the maps as well. So it's you're never finished.
Yeah, so we could be expecting some bigger things down the road then.
Yeah, hopefully the end of this month, the beginning of next month, there should be big changes on the way the parishes are mapped. You'll be able to zoom in and out and click through and do all sorts of wonderful things with them, I hope. There are various things in the pipeline. It's as I say, once you start mapping, once you get the bug, you just can't stop.
Hey, have you thought about joining the Irish Genealogical Society International, but just haven't gotten around to it yet? Well, here's all you have to do. Head to the website at irishgenealogical.org. There you'll find the Join link on the left side of the page, and that's where you can sign up and become a member. You can also register for any of the webinars this year on the website as well, and as a member you can also see past webinars from the previous year. And besides enjoying all the members' benefits, you can always sign in and go over many of the programs and services that the IGSI has to offer, and that would include viewing past webinars, surname interests, the e-newsletter, or maybe you'd like to receive some assistance from the research services. That's it for now. Thanks again to John Grenham for that great interview regarding his database and some of the future plans that they have and what folks can expect when they get to the Minnesota Genealogical Center. Now, if you know of an Irish Fest going on during the month of August and September, or you're in charge of one and you'd like to get on the list, well, we're going to come up with a list for next month's episode and of all the different Irish Fests that are going to be going on. So where do you send that information? You send it to this email address right here, and we'll put it on the list as well. And hopefully that you'll find your Irish Fest that's close to you and be able to get out there and enjoy it. We're just a month away from a lot of those Irish Fests that are going to be starting to take place for the month of August and September. So in the meantime, hope you have yourself a great July. We'll see you again next month.